dating men. Stop having sex with men. Stop talking to men. Divorce your husbands. Leave your boyfriends. Leave them.
You guys are shaving your heads. You're swearing off men all over politics. Be so for real. There is a caricature of every woman that's doing this. It's either they want attention or they want the next thing they're gonna do is buy a Subaru. It's just politics to drive a Subaru Outback, shave your head, and swear off men, and then conveniently start wearing cargo shorts. It's politics. Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. My name is Clarkson. I react to videos online because the internet has become a very crazy place and I tried to bring sanity back to it. Now, I've been gone for a while. I had a lot to do with work and I just quit my day job and I'm doing social media full time. So now I have more time to do YouTube and it's the perfect time to start getting back into YouTube because people are actually going full-blown manic on the internet. So it makes great entertaining content. I do feel bad for these people, for a lot of them who are genuinely upset and having manic episodes online. But some of these people are just doing things for attention. And those are the people that I don't feel bad for. I don't feel bad for you if you're just having a mental breakdown for the likes and clicks online rather than actually having a mental breakdown because you're mentally unstable. With that being said, as you guys saw in the intro, leftist women have gone crazy. And now I am a moderate. I am in the middle. This isn't a partisan video. It's not about Republicans or Democrats. It's just about sanity versus the insane. Now, these women are participating in what they call the 4B movement. Now, the 4B movement originated in South Korea, and this was a women's rights movement, and they had a list of things that they were doing in order to achieve those rights. Now, I could sit here and explain it to you, but why me when I could just have TikToker explain it way better? Let's go ahead and just hand it over to her.
No worries, because if you asked like that, you're willing to listen and learn. The 4B movement started in South Korea in 2019-ish. And is still ongoing today. Basically, women over there got really fed up with the way that they were being treated by men. So they just said, you know what? We're not doing this, or this. So they made a list, like tenets, 4 things that they are just not going to do anymore. And in their language, BI, the prefix BI before a word means no. So that's where they get 4B. But it's essentially just women in South Korea saying, we're sick of this. We're not going to date men. We're not going to marry men. We're not going to have sex with men, and we're not going to have children for men. Until we start to be treated as freaking people, as human beings, as equals, we're done.
So essentially, American women are very angry that Trump has won the presidency and that the GOP is in charge of all chambers in Congress. So they have taken it upon themselves to start their own mini 4B movement here in America. So now that you guys know what the 4B movement is, what's important to distinguish with the 4B movement that started in South Korea versus the 4B movement in America is that one group of women were oppressed, whereas the other group of women were manipulated through fear-mongering that was given to them by the Democratic Party. Essentially, one group is looking for attention and has been fed misinformation, and the other group was actually oppressed. So leave it to Americans to turn an actual movement that was for equality into a movement for attention. So what the Democratic Party did this election, and I'm going to do a whole other video on why Kamala Harris lost and why a lot of the campaign messaging was terrible this election cycle comparatively to the Republican Party. But what they did in order to motivate their voters to come out and vote is they used fear-mongering to get certain identity groups to vote for them. They made the GOP out to be the boogeyman against women, against gays, against black people, against transgender people, etc.
He and his allies would limit access to birth control, ban medication abortion, and enact a nationwide abortion ban with or without Congress.
And what that did was it created hysteria in a lot of these identity groups' minds. So when Trump won, they started to freak out. And now these women who believe the GOP to quite literally be misogynist are freaking out online. You even saw women going to the ballot boxes in the Handmaid's Tale outfit. These women probably bought this costume at Party City because it was, you know, before October and said, you know what, I'm going to go to the voting booth and cosplay oppressed women. While we have women who are are forced to cover themselves in other countries because, God forbid, a man sees their arm or something. But yeah, no. So American women want to cosplay oppression, but that is solely due to the fact that the Democratic Party has used fear-mongering to convince these women that their rights are genuinely on the chopping block. Now, personally, I'm an independent, okay? There's things with the GOP, with the Republican Party that I don't like, and there's things with the Democratic Party that I don't like. But none of my vote was based in fear. It's a baseless claim to think that the Republican Party is this crazy boogeyman who's coming for all different marginalized identities' rights. That's not true. Now, there's some things that could potentially happen under the GOP, but it's nothing that's worth shaving your head over. Also, I'm getting a hair transplant in 2 weeks, and I'm sure you guys, if you follow me on Instagram, you know this. I don't really think it's cool for women to be willingly shaving their head because some of us aren't losing our hair because we're dramatic. We're losing it because we have bad genetics. Also, there's a lot of people, i.e. women with cancer, who lose their hair. What these women are essentially telling them is that if you lose your hair, you're not beautiful. This post here, this is a woman with alopecia, which is a condition where women lose their hair. She's saying that what these women are doing, because they're trying to make themselves ugly so men don't want them, she's saying that, oh, well, I guess I'm not beautiful because I have no hair. Now, the truth is that a lot of men are not attracted to bald women. So, I mean, I'll be honest. Yes, it is offensive to people with alopecia, but let's be dead ass honest here. Most men aren't really attracted to bald women. Some are. Some women can pull off a bald head, but most can't. So is the 4B movement wrong when they shave their head to make themselves less attractive? I don't think they're wrong. I just think they're out of touch, and it's politically incorrect to say that. But anyways, if you're asking why are these women so terrified that they're going to lose their rights, what rights are they going to lose? And that's the age-old question. What rights are they going to lose genuinely? Because Kamala Harris wasn't going to be able to sign a national to restore Roe v. Wade. That's not what was going to happen under her presidency. There's just no possible way that was going to happen. Also, it's already been sent back to the states. What the Democratic Party has been saying on the campaign trail is that, you know, the GOP is going to put a national abortion ban on the books. But Trump himself has said that he would veto a national abortion ban because he wants it to stay with the states. This hysteria surrounding women being targeted by the GOP is a little bit fallacious. It truly is. And again, I am not a diehard Republican. I'm truly in the middle. I voted for both Democrats and Republicans on my ballot. I want us to be able to criticize the parties based on truth rather than based on fear-mongering. That's what the whole Democratic campaign ran on. So in essence, the 4B movement's goal is to make men not be able to have women. And if they don't have women, then they'll get their rights a lot quicker because men will learn that they have to treat their women well, or else they're not going to be able to have sex. They're not going to be able to find beautiful women. But the problem with these attention-seeking women on TikTok is that 52% of white women, because I don't really see anybody else besides white liberal women doing this, 52% of white women voted for Donald Trump. So what is that going to do? Let's say even if all, 48% of women who voted for Kamala Harris swore off men, what do you think's going to happen? So those men are just going to flock to the 52% of women that aren't bald. Yes, there are things that we can work towards when it comes to equality, but this whole idea like that women are, it's that America is going to turn into the Handmaid's Tale is just so outrageously theatric and dramatic. There is no other answer to these women on TikTok doing the 4B movement besides them wanting attention. So all in all, if you're a woman or a minority who's terrified of a Trump administration, let's just take a step back. Let's take a step back and let's actually look at the policies. Do I get worried that religious conservatives are going to get too much power and they're going to start to do things that I don't agree with? Sure. Yes, absolutely. That's politics. There's always going to be groups of people that have power that you don't necessarily want to have too much power. But the truth is that none of this warrants shaving your goddamn head. And that's it. So with all of that being said, I'm going to go ahead and end this video here because these girls don't deserve any more attention than they're already getting. But if you would like to see more of me, you can subscribe to my channel. You can also subscribe to my Patreon, which is on my link tree. You guys can talk to me on Patreon, ask me questions, make content suggestions, get exclusive content, everything under the sun. I'll see you guys next time.